Okay. Hello and welcome to the September 8th, 2025 meeting of the Carver School Committee. If you could please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Neef is going to kick us off with some recognitions.
Yeah, we have 3 recognitions this evening. If it's okay, I'd like to take them a little out of order.
Absolutely.
I know a couple of our AP scholars were girls soccer players, had a game today, so I'm going to give them a minute or 2 more to see if they have the opportunity to come
So here comes
over.
one.
Here comes one. So why don't we do the recognition of Mrs. Kincaid first. So Kelsey, if you want to come on up to the table. So we are excited to let the committee and the community know that Kelsey was nominated by the Massachusetts Secondary School Athletic Directors Association for what's called the Award of Merit. So each district, Kelsey, how many districts are there in total?
9.
There are 9 districts. We are District 9. So only 9 athletic directors in the state receive this recognition. And then the state actually selects a award of merit winner for the entire state. We wouldn't find that out until the spring. But Kelsey is the representative for District 9. So the award of merit is based upon length of service, special accomplishments, and contributions to high school athletics at both the state and local level. And this is nominated by the athletic directors themselves. So all the ADs in District 9 came together, felt that Kelsey would be an outstanding nominee. So obviously, as the Carver Public School District, we take great pride in that. We're excited Kelsey's here with us, in her 2nd year here in Carver. But prior to that, she had distinguished time at Rising Tide and also in the Randolph Public Schools, and has been dedicated to athletics throughout her career. So we just think this is an outstanding achievement, outstanding accomplishment, and we're looking forward and hoping that Kelsey that we're going to have her back here in May. And announce her as the state winner for the Award of Merit. So congratulations, Kelsey. Kelsey, I don't know if Kelsey, I don't know if you have anything to share or any thoughts. No. I know you're coming back later on the agenda.
No, thank you for recognizing this. I appreciate it and happy for Carver to be part of this community. So,
right. Thanks, Kelsey.
Thank you.
Doing a good job.
Congratulations.
All right. AP Scholars. The AP Scholar Awards recognize high school students who've demonstrated exemplary college-level achievement through performance on their AP exams. There are 3 levels of the award. First is the AP Scholar. An AP Scholar has a score of 3 or higher on 3 AP exams throughout their school career. The second distinction is the AP Scholar with Honors. The AP Scholar with Honors has a score of higher on 4 AP exams with an overall score average of at least 3.25. And the highest level is the AP Scholar with Distinction, with a score of 3 or higher on 5 AP exams, which is a tremendous accomplishment, and an overall score average of at least 3.5. So our AP Scholars were announced over the summer. The AP scores come out in July. Then in August, they announce who the AP Scholars are. They're notified via a letter. And then, obviously the appropriate distinction is actually reflected on all the score reports that the College Board sends to colleges. So whatever schools these students are applying to, that distinction is part of their College Board scores, and it made sure that every college that they apply to or are looking at for next year would know that they are one of these 3 levels of AP Scholar with Honors, or AP Scholar with Distinction. So we'd just like to take a few minutes this evening to recognize our students who have those designations. So we'll start with our AP Scholars. And I know not all the students aren't here this evening, but I'm still going to say everybody's name. Those students who are here, if you can come forward, I'll present you with your certificate, and then we just always like to do a nice group picture, which everybody's always excited about. So AP Scholars. First, Haley Alsheimer. I know, I saw Haley somewhere. We're going to clap for her. Trevor Bienvenu. Sorry, Trevor. Owen DeAndre. Staying up for a second to bring it up. Megan Daly. Julia Fernandez. Sophia Tibbetts.
Oh, we lost.
Louis Riafe. Now we're going to our AP Scholars with honors. We have 2 AP Scholars with honors. Ken McDonald. And Levon Lauren. I know Levon's got these. 2 AP Scholars with distinction, Ariel Barboza. And finally, Kara Toomey. Thanks, everybody. Do you want to do a picture?
Sure. Yes.
Forward to the center. School care numbers. Congratulations, everybody. Tremendous honor.
Parents, I'm gonna take a picture and then I'll get out of your way.
No, you're good.
I'm always good at that. Excellent, stay there for your parents.
I'm old.
Wait a minute, he just took a selfie.
Wouldn't be the first now.
Congratulations. So that, obviously, that's an outstanding accomplishment by all of our students. Congratulations again to them and their families. So you're certainly all welcome to stay for the rest of the evening, but obviously you're taking a lot of AP courses, so we realize you might have things to do. Our final recognition this evening is we would, as an annual tradition, we like to recognize or at least introduce our new teachers to the school committee and to the community. So at this time, we're going to welcome Ruby Maestas. First, Ruby will go first to introduce the new teachers at the elementary school. New teachers, don't worry, you don't have to come up and do a picture, and well, you can just wave. You can just wave to the crowd.
Oh, shucks. Should I say just one? Good evening, everyone. And thank you. This is always a fun and proud moment to introduce some amazing educators that we have actually, been working together as a team to hire. This actually was a busy hiring season for us since last, probably right around March or April. So in addition to all of the teachers that I'm going to introduce this evening, we did have a number of ESPs who, again, we don't formally introduce those here, but it was a busy hiring season for myself and Dr. Stahl and Dr. Pinella and Melissa Leary and the entire team just to get everyone hired. But we're fully hired, which is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Colleen Fitzsimmons, and she is here. She'll wave hello. Colleen is our new school psychologist at Carver Elementary School, and she, just a little bit about her and her coursework. She has her undergraduate degree from the UMass Boston in psychology. She has also earned her Master's of Education degree as well as a Master of Arts degree from the Teachers College in New York. And so she has a lot of coursework and a lot of knowledge behind her. She worked in Plymouth at Nathaniel Morton prior to coming to us, so she's been wonderful to have on board, and we're fortunate to be working with her, so welcome, Colleen.
Oh, Colleen.
Next, we have Cassandra Fleck, and Cassandra is our new 5th grade special education liaison. Cassie is a graduate of Westfield State University. She attended there for both her bachelor's and her master's degrees. She's a certified elementary educator in grades 1 through 6 and a special education teacher, also 1 through 6. She's worked at preschools since 2019, both in the roles of a teacher and an ESP or an assistant. She did a lot of her practicum and student teaching in Westfield, so Western Mass, in 4th grade. She also worked as a special education paraprofessional in Western Mass as well with the older students, so 4th and 5th grade. So we're proud to have Cassandra join us as our special education liaison in grade 5. I also wanted to say that we did have quite a good pool of candidates. So the folks that we have hired here, in many cases, it was a very challenging decision because we had many candidates just sort of rise to the top. So the folks that we have, we feel like we were able to really get top quality candidates. All right, so next, I'd like to introduce Julie Grosinger. So Julie Grosinger, welcome, Julie. She has worked as a teacher in kindergarten in a couple of private schools, both in Newton and Weymouth. She's served as an ESP in East Bridgewater. She also worked at the North Falmouth Elementary School, and she started in kindergarten, and then she looped into to 1st grade, and also to 2nd, correct? Awesome. Thank you. She graduated from Bridgewater State University. She has her bachelor's in early childhood education. She has a double major in psychology. She has her SEI endorsement, and she has her master's degree from Fitchburg State in special education and reading. So just a tremendous amount of skill. And all of these folks are highly qualified, meaning they're certified and licensed in the state of Massachusetts, which is not an easy feat. They have a series of tests that they have to take and pass. Julie is certified pre-K through 2, elementary 1 through 6. She's a reading specialist, and she's currently teaching grade 5 ELA and social studies. And she's on the teaching team with Mrs. Natalie Shields. Mrs. Shields is used to be Miss Strachio.
Oh.
Yeah. So welcome, Julie. Next, we have Erin Nichols. Erin is our new grade 1 teacher. Thank you, Erin. So Miss Nichols has been a substitute teacher in East Bridgewater. She also was a substitute in Carver for us last year. She's worked as a special education ESP. She's taught summer school for preschool students. She's worked in after-school programs. She has her master's in early childhood education from Bridgewater State, and she is licensed to teach students pre-K through 2. And it's been wonderful to have her on board. And when we hired Erin, it was last year, like April or May, and she was ready to move into her classroom. So each chance she had, we were checking in to see when she could get ready and get situated. And you know what? That's true with all of the folks that are here. They've been so eager to come to the school and get ready. All right, so next we have Melissa Noyes. And I'm not sure if Melissa made it. She did.
Cheers.
Yay, thank you, Melissa. Awesome. Melissa, also newly married, so congratulations, Melissa. She was Melissa Roach when we hired her, and now she's Noyes. Congratulations. Melissa has a Bachelor's of Science in Early Childhood. She is our new preschool teacher since Miss Wethington retired. We have Melissa joining us. She went to the University of Vermont. Her master's degree is from Lesley University with a focus in moderate disabilities. And for the past 6 years, Melissa has been working in various special education roles ranging from pre-K through 6. 3 of those last years she's worked in the Cambridge Public Schools. And so she's relocated and she's here with us at Carver Elementary School. So welcome, Melissa. And then last but definitely not least is Hayden Roach. Hayden was hoping to be here as well. But Hayden is a name that many of us are familiar with. He's a graduate of Carver Middle High School, and we are very fortunate to have him. He holds a bachelor's degree in elementary education from Bridgewater State University. He has served as a special education teacher in our summer programs at Carver Elementary School. He's also been a long-term sub in the Plymouth Public Schools, most recently at Manamet Elementary in grade 3, and he is currently here with us in grade 3. He's the new member of the teaching team there. He's teaching math and science on the inclusion team with Ms. Simmons. So congratulations to all our newly hired, and we're so proud of them. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions?
No? Thank you for being here. Welcome to Carver.
Thank you.
Hope you have a great year. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. So we're going to take a small break, from commercial break from introduction of new teachers, and go back to recognition of AP scholars.
Okay.
So as I said, we did have a girls soccer game home tonight, and a couple of the girls are AP scholars. So we want to make sure we take the appropriate time to recognize everyone. So Haley's going to get a special recognition. Hold on. So just as a reminder, the AP Scholars Award recognizes high school students who've demonstrated exemplary college level achievement on AP exams. There's 3 levels of the award. There's the AP Scholar, which is the score of 3 or higher on 3 AP exams. The AP Scholar with honors, with a score of 3 or higher on 4 AP exams with an overall score of 3.25, and an AP Scholar with distinction, a score of 3 or higher on 5 AP exams with an overall score average of at least 3.5. I'll add this on, I didn't add this in the original presentation, is certainly the students we're recognizing here this evening are our students who were juniors last year and who are rising seniors. So you can earn this designation over your high school career. So you can in Carver, you can take AP courses as early as your sophomore year. And then some students actually earn this distinction after graduation. So there are last year's seniors, some of them earned it. We didn't necessarily invite them back because most of them are off at college. But so for example, Haley's going to be an AP scholar, but she's probably taking some AP courses this year. We won't put her on the spot and ask her how many she's taking. Okay, if she gets a couple more 3s or higher, which she probably will, then next year she'll become an AP scholar with distinction. And probably a lot of our students tonight who are AP scholars, after they take their AP courses this year, they'll become almost definitely AP scholars with honors, and a lot of them will become AP scholars with distinction because they'll have that impressive feat of scoring a 3 or higher on 5 or more exams, which is always truly impressive. And I probably should have mentioned that when they were all here. So to our last AP scholar we want to recognize tonight, Haley Alsheimer. Haley, come on up. Do you want to do a picture? Yeah, we can do it. Haley, get a picture of the whole.
I know. Do you want to take a picture? We usually do a picture. We did a picture with everyone else. Do you want one?
Want to do it?
Okay.
Mom wants to do it. Her mom
Yeah,
wants to do
okay.
a picture.
Sophia was in her uniform too, so.
Right? Absolutely.
Get everything.
Congratulations. Thank you. Sorry about the game.
We'll take the picture and then we'll just Photoshop it to them.
You don't need us.
True.
Excellent.
All right, going back to recognition of our new teachers at the middle high school.
Yes.
Thank you. You ready? Welcome back, everyone. We've had an awesome opening of the school year. I'm really proud to be able to be here tonight to recognize our new hires. Like Ruby explained, we've had a very busy hiring season as well. Since you gave me the little heads up, Ruby, I looked at my PowerPoint from my faculty meeting just a minute ago. We hired 11 people. So in addition to the 6 teachers that we'll recognize tonight, we've hired 11 additional staff members from an array of responsibilities: office clerks, lunchroom monitors, ESPs, an assistant athletic director. So it's been, we've been busy. But tonight I'm proud to recognize our teachers. I'll start with Alessio Consoletti. Alessio graduated from high school at Bishop Stang, and we were fortunate enough to hire him before he even graduated from Stonehill College this past May. He earned a bachelor's degree in Spanish in secondary education with a minor in Mandarin Chinese. Alessio is fluent in 3 languages. He also speaks Italian. Alessio completed his student teaching in Dartmouth. He has additional experience as he served as a teacher assistant for both intermediate and advanced Spanish levels at Stonehill College. So he's a young teacher, but he's really going to be a rock star.
Excellent.
And we're excited to have Sydney LaLiberty on staff. Sydney was hired full-time as an ESP at Carver Middle High School in September of 2023. Prior to that, she served as a substitute ESP during our summer programming and while she was on school breaks and available to work with us. This year, Sydney has been hired as a school adjustment counselor at the ACE GAP program. So in 2023, Sydney received her bachelor's degree in social work with a minor in special education. Last spring, 5 of her Carver Middle High School students surprised her by attending her graduation ceremony at Gillette Stadium.
That's awesome.
Where she earned her master's degree in social work from Bridgewater State University as well. So we're excited. Sydney's been working with us for a long time, and clearly her students care about us. We're very excited to have her as our school adjustment counselor working with those kids.
Awesome.
We've hired Sean Maroney. He is a special education teacher in our high school language-based program. He comes to us after 3 years of service in a similar role at Marshfield High School. He has additional teaching experience working in both the New Bedford and Plymouth Public Schools, as well as Pilgrim Academy. Sean is a very interesting man. He brings many worldly experiences with him, having served a variety of educational roles throughout his career in Slovenia, Singapore, Austria, South Korea, and Egypt. So if you have a chance to engage in conversation with Sean, he has lots of stories to share. We've hired Danielle Pigeon. She is the MLL teacher for all students in grades 6 through 12. Having taught in Randolph, Falmouth, and Sharon, Danielle has extensive experience teaching multilingual children. The bulk of her teaching career has been in the role of an ESL teacher for 12 years at Brockton High School. She's off to a strong start in the first few weeks of school, making connections with students and reaching out to their families, extending invitations to our open house this Thursday. And I'd like to make a plug for our open house Thursday. Thursday at 5:30, all families are welcome to attend a meeting in the auditorium with the admin team. It's just an opportunity for us to introduce ourselves to them and do a general welcome to kick off our school year. And then from 6 to 8, families will rotate through all of their students, 7 classes, and have the opportunity to meet not only the teachers I'm introducing tonight, but all of their students' teachers. So here with us tonight is Heather Rowe. So smile, Heather. So Heather, we've hired as a high school math teacher. Her schedule includes statistics, algebra 1, and geometry. Heather is a career changer. She was an architect for 10 years before she discovered her true passion was to teach. She worked as a substitute teacher in Bourne for 9 years while she worked toward earning her master's in education in secondary mathematics, and this was at the American International College. She has 1 year of teaching experience at Sandwich Middle School prior to accepting her position here with us at Carver. And also here with us tonight is Lindsay Stork. Lindsay is no stranger to Carver Middle High School. She's a former graduate, the class of 2007. And I think Scott and I were both assistant principals back then.
I was principal
You were
in
principal
2007.
back then? But in addition to that, she worked with us as an ESP in 2011 through 2013. So we are more than happy to have her return to our team as a member of the special education department. She's servicing students and staff in the middle school assistance program, so in the MAP program. Lindsay graduated from Bridgewater State University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in English and earned a Master's of Education degree in Moderate Disabilities from Curry College. She comes to us with 5 years of experience as a special education teacher at Sharon Middle School, and she is very excited about her new assignment because she lives in Plymouth and has reduced her drive time to and from school by a bit.
Nice.
That's always great.
Yeah.
So we're excited for our
We can
first
applaud for
grandson.
Lindsay and Heather. All right.
Welcome.
So thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Christine.
you very much. Welcome. Wish you both a great school year, as well as everyone else that is not here with us this evening, but is new. So, no comments from the EAPC this evening.
No comments from the APC this evening.
So that brings us to comments from the general public. So if there's anyone in the room, which I don't believe there is, but that would like to speak, you're more than welcome to come up to the table. And I do not see anyone.
And the only person that meets is the APC.
Oh.
I believe.
Right? So, okay, seeing no one in the chat and no one moving towards the mic, I will close public comment and we will move on to the approval of the minutes from the August 18th, 2025 school committee meeting.
Okay, I move that we approve the August 18th, 2025 open session minutes.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Gina. That
No,
brings us
no communications this evening.
Okay, so that brings us right to reports from the superintendent and personnel updates.
And so since we last met a couple weeks ago, we have had a couple of personnel moves. We've had the resignation of Cheryl Pitsley as an ESP educational job coach at the middle high school. We also have several new hires, mostly in food services. Catherine D'Onofrio at the middle high school, Jason Imar at the middle high school, and Lee Howell White at the middle high school. And that is our personnel movement since our last meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that. Next, that brings us to athletic updates with our athletic director, Kelsey Kincaid.
Yep.
Welcome
So
back.
welcome Kelsey back. I was going to take us through three things. First, well, I guess why don't we start with the handbook? Does that work? Want to give me a second to pull it up? Maybe? Sorry, it was a little painstaking, but now we're good. What's up?
So the Carver Middle High School Athletic Handbook was approved last year by school committee. So we brought it forth again to our athletics subcommittee. The only changes made was that our wording from our student handbook in regards to 7th and 8th graders participating in athletics was copy and added to the athletic handbook. And then the other change was
Do
that
you know what, do you have the pages that's
what
on?
page that happened on? It was, I was just on it. 7. Up the top. 6
There it
into
is, yeah.
7, participation.
Participation.
Yep. Do you want me to read through that?
Sure.
Okay. So the addition is participation. So the usage of 7th grade high school students on sports teams will be recommended by the athletic director to the building principal at least 2 weeks prior to the start of the season. The athletic director will provide information to the principal in regards to current registrations and how utilization of 7th grade student athletes would be used to continue to provide a varsity and or sub-varsity option when possible. 7th grade student athletes would only be eligible for the lowest level the school offers in that sport. And the high school will not be allowing 7th grade student athletes in heavy contact sports such as football and ice hockey.
Are we using 7th graders in cross country?
Cross country is the only fall
In the
sport. For last year, winter and spring was track and field, and spring was girls tennis due to our low participation numbers. 8th grade student athletes will be allowed to participate on any level of the program provided the coach completes the following criteria prior to tryouts being completed. Confirm that no senior student athlete shall be displaced by an 8th grade student athlete making a varsity level team. The program's varsity coach shall meet with the AD to review placement of the said student athletes prior to selection being made, and that the athletic director shall meet with the high school administrator to review placement of the said student athlete prior to the selection being made.
And just a little background on this section. This was a change 2 years ago that we actually made to the student handbook, but was not put in the athletic handbook. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, we had a lot of discussion about it at that time, because previously 8th grade students were not allowed, 8th grade students had to participate on the lowest level offered. So if we had a freshman team, the 8th grader had to play on the freshman team, even if maybe competitively they could play on JV or on varsity. You know, but if we only had a varsity team, then the 8th grader could participate on varsity. But we made this change a couple of years ago. It was reflected in the student handbook, but not in the athletic handbook. So it's not like this is a new policy for this year.
Yeah, just copy and pasted.
Yeah.
The next one is right underneath that, academic eligibility. It is the last 2 lines that we put forward a new ineligibility waiver form. So if a student is academically ineligible to participate in a sport, they can fill out a waiver and go through a process that includes an interview, filling out the waiver with the parent and guardian, meeting with myself, so that they could be eligible with some limitations to then become a full roster player at some point in the season. And the last edit is just that Sandwich is no longer in our league. So on the second to last page, when it lists the South Shore League members, I removed Sandwich from there. So that is the changes to the athletic handbook.
Any questions on the changes to the athletic handbook?
No.
Nope.
So my recommendation would be that we approve the revisions to the athletic handbook. The school committee has voted on this in the past. The subcommittee did vote to approve these changes.
I move to approve the proposed revisions to the athletic handbook for the 2025-2026 school year.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for all of your work on this and for bringing it to us.
All right, thanks, Kelsey.
We appreciate it.
And then framing, last year we had some discussions around athletics involving, and out of those discussions that happened at school committee meetings, we're looking to implement some new procedures. Not necessarily looking for the school committee to vote in favor of those procedures tonight, they're not necessarily policies, but one is a code of conduct for coaches, the other is a hiring timeline. So Kelsey's going to go through both of those and answer any questions or take any suggestions that people may have in regards to the code of conduct or the timeline. So we'll do code of conduct first?
Sure.
And then just give me a second again to get it shared out, not to the meets, sorry.
good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the athletic code of conduct for coaches is something I will implement. Got approved after the fall had started, but implemented with my fall coaches later and will the rest of them before season. For them to sign off on and agree to as being a assistant or head coach at the Carver Middle High School. There are 5 specific bullets. That is the pressing items. 1 is professional conduct. 2 is commitment to student athletes. 3 is coaching responsibilities. 4 is communication and collaboration. And 5 is discipline and enforcement. Do you want me to read every little?
No, you don't have to
Okay.
read through the whole
Okay.
thing. But we're going to ask coaches at the beginning of each season to sign off on the code of conduct.
Yes.
Looks good.
Any questions on that?
Nope, thank you.
And finally, the hiring timeline.
So the hiring timeline, it just kind of maps out when coach positions get posted, when appointment letters go out, whether it's a head coach versus an assistant coach, and what the process is in terms of letting returning coaches know and posting those internally versus externally. So the top fall coaches, winter coaches, and spring coaches are the timeline aspect of the postings, and then the bottom bullets are kind of the process, whether a head coach is planning to return, is not planning to return, or if an assistant coach is planning to return or not planning to return, how we go about hiring the staff for that program.
And I know last year at the end of the year, there's some questions around this in terms of a couple of positions, so I think I will read the 3 bullets at the end. If a head coach is planning to return, we'll post the head and assistant coaches positions internally only. So that an internal posting means that we actually create a hard copy posting. It goes up in the offices throughout the district. It goes up in the buildings. It's available here, town hall, but it's not going out to every place you could possibly see the posting to be hired, such as School Spring or MIAA websites or those types of things. If the head coach is planning to return, but the assistant coaches are not, we'll post the head coach internally, and the assistant positions will be posted both internally and externally. So it'll be a full search. And if the head coach is not returning, we'll post the head coach and assistant coach in positions. So we want to be really clear with people that if the head coach is leaving, we're going to post all of the positions both internally and externally. That doesn't mean some of the previous assistant coaches won't have the ability to come back, but we're going to open that search up totally. And we're going to allow the new head coach that we hire to play a role in deciding who their assistants are, because I think that makes sense to do that. So we just want to be really clear with the community of this is the process we're going to follow. This is the process we followed last year. But I think there were some questions about, well, does that process exist anywhere? Is it in writing? Can I see it? So we felt that was a fair criticism, and we said, well, it should be in writing. We should be able to see it. So we'll make this available on the athletic website, and we'll make it aware that this is the process we'll go through. Then obviously up the top, things always change a little bit. We're going to do our best to follow this timeline of, in essence, hiring. Once your season ends, when the next season begins, we're going to post from the previous season, as that's what this says. So for our fall coaches for next year, they'll get posted at the beginning of the winter season this year, and hopefully have those people appointed. Because that also deals with the issue that comes up occasionally is when, and I'll admit that this was a process we weren't always great at. That timeline varied, and someone would say, well, how does that person even know the coach? Because that coach starts organizing activities like weightlifting or running or conditioning or fundraising or a spring event or a summer event. And they said, you haven't even been appointed the coach. How can you be doing all these things? So this will make that a little bit cleaner in terms of they will be appointed as a coach. Now, there's a reality piece in this because, coaching positions, some of the coaching positions, they might be a teacher for us who for whatever reason, gets a teaching job in a different district. And they signed on, they took the job, and then they resign in the fall, and then we revert to the other process. There tends to be a little more flexibility, or I don't know if flexible is the right word, movement amongst the coaching staff. So even if after we appoint people, they may still resign and move on, but we just want to have, something in place that's clear for the community. Kelsey, I don't know if you want to add anything to what I had
You
to say.
nailed it.
All right, or if there's any questions from the committee about that.
Nope, I appreciate the transparency. Hopefully that it will answer some questions that have been out there over the last year. And thank you for the time and the effort. Thank you to Bill for putting his time and effort also into the athletic subcommittee.
Yeah.
Because I think we'll, from a transparency standpoint, we'll post both the coach's code of conduct and the hiring process on the athletic website.
Right.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Thank you so very much.
All right, thanks, Kelsey. Thanks for your
Thank
time.
Okay, so that brings us to Ron, capital projects update. Oop, I have it open.
Hey folks. So 'tis the season for capital. I know that the school year is all just begun, and we're already thinking about the next year. But that's part of what we do. We're sort of a year ahead. What I've got for you today is just a brief update on some of the projects that are finishing up from FY25, some of the projects that have just gotten started in 26, and I'll give you a brief look into our planning going into 27 and our 10-year model thereafter. So when you look at our FY25 list that you see there, we're pretty much done. We've got one project left, and that's your concession stand. I'll give you a little bit of an update on where we stand with that. As a refresher, that's a really cool partnership actually between the Carver schools, New Bedford Vocational, and Old Colony schools, all kind of working together here to get this project up and going. I know it's been one that's been a long time coming, so we're really excited about it. We had students working on that project with some oversight by their instructors, certainly in 2-week intervals. But over the summer, the students aren't there, so it's been on pause. They're coming back in the middle of September. That's either the week of the 15th or the following week. We're still cleaning that up with their schedules. We've got slab down. Utilities are all roughed in. Building, as you see, is watertight, which is great. And so the last steps that we're looking at going forward for the fall are really just going to be a lot of the finish work on the interior and then putting up siding, plumbing, those sorts of things as well. We have no final date yet, but we're expecting it to be completed by this winter. We are working with one other project that's alternating that Old Colony and New Bedford Voc are also doing simultaneously. I want to say it's in Lakeville. And so like you do with any construction job, as one part of a project is looking for materials to be delivered, they hop over to another project and vice versa. And so we expect to sort of continue that alternation through to the winter. And once we have this up and going, we'll certainly follow up with some kind of grand opening of the concession stand, which we're really excited about.
Excellent. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Looks good.
As we look ahead for FY26, you can see the checked off ones are all checked off, ready to go and done. We'll talk about all of them today. And those that are open check boxes are projects that are still underway. We'll give you a quick walkthrough and update. And at any point in the presentation, stop me, ask questions if you've got any. I'm happy to sort of drill down and give you some more information. Over at the elementary school, if you remember, this is actually a 2-phase project to replace some of that surfacing area that really just becomes a mud pit in about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on when we start getting, that rain through October and November, with some rubberized surfacing material. That's a porous surfacing material that does allow grass to go through it, but ultimately provides a rubber coating between the hundreds of children playing and the roots of that grass, right? So it's partially funded in 26. We'll continue to propose the second half of that project in our as part of the FY27 through FY36 planning. If you've been in the back of the elementary school, you can see that berm has been moved way back. A lot of that work was actually able to be done by our colleagues over in operation and maintenance, which is fantastic. Saves the taxpayer money, was able to get us done nice and early. Graded, wood chipped, and that big space you see there in the picture will be part of our FY27 request. Phase 2 will bring together some staff members, some community members to envision a new element that can expand our playground spaces for kiddos at the elementary school. What that element will be is TBD, but we're excited to be able to expand some of that play space. A little context for our mini splits project. Gosh, we started talking a little about this maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. We had originally envisioned that this was going to be a 4 to 5 year process, sort of phasing out, different groups of classrooms. We were able to speed that project up pretty substantially, thanks in large part to some ARPA funding that the town was able to receive. We did the large majority of it in '25, and the FY26 was really just a finish up for that project. I'm happy to report the bids came in lower than anticipated, which saved the taxpayers a lot of money, and we're done ahead of schedule. So we're excited to have those up and running in classrooms. Of course, as soon as you put the mini splits up, the weather is like cold and sort of rainy, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We've got them, they're ready to go. And honestly, in terms of just a product, they've been really successful product, relatively inexpensive, pretty low on the maintenance side of things, and for the spaces that they're conditioning, bring the temperature, down to something that's really manageable very quickly, which is nice.
Excellent.
And we've talked about our classroom modernization work, over the past several years, and we'll hopefully continue with the support of the community on for the next several years as well. FY26's project was the history department. The large majority of their FF&E, furnitures, fixtures, and equipment have been just replacements of desks and chairs, which have had a lot of miles on them already, and also give our staff members and our students a little bit more flexibility in the classrooms, right? So you'll see that as part of your disposition of materials later on in our agenda. If approved by the school committee, with your vote to surplus those, we'll remove their old equipment and bring in some new equipment in the coming months for them. If you've had a chance to be down in the library, they did a really wonderful job of just re-envisioning the furniture that's down there on the first floor. You see your picture there. Just a lot more flexibility with the furniture, as we've talked a little bit about with our modernization push in general. And just refresh just some furniture that I think was original with the building in large part. We still have a team working on the second floor, which is something they're still working, to envision what does that look like in, 21st, 22nd century education. But we're really excited about the way it came out for that first portion. So halfway done there and looking more toward the end of this year for that second floor. Our cafeteria, again, you sort of hear this theme with modernizing with the middle high school, trying to think about how we extend the useful life of that building while sort of minimizing the taxpayer, impact. We're again happy with this project because the modernization with our classroom, with our cafeteria furniture, really costs no local taxpayer money, right? That's federal money that ultimately passes through the state and lands here in Carver, but must be used only for food service related costs. So it's really narrow in terms of the strings that are attached to that. And like many schools in our state, we're excited to be able to refresh a lot of the cafeteria furniture that is also, again, dated similar to your library theme there. We've got the graphics up already. We're excited about those as part of that project spec. So it gave the kids and the staff, I think, a nice shot in the arm when they walked through that space.
Yeah.
Changing gears from facilities to transportation, we talked briefly about this at the end of last year. There's two components of our FY26 capital plan that we really got a head start on using the free cash component of the appropriation to get moving on those, primarily because there was a lot of questions about how tariffs would impact the sector that we were trying to purchase in. So our minivan is already part of the fleet. Ben, we do an upfit to put on that school bus accessories, if you will. So it looks like our school bus. It's got the lettering for Town of Carver and those sorts of things. Was running some summer runs for us and is now helping out with a combination of special education out of district and homeless runs for us. Also part of the FY26 capital planning was 71 passenger bus. Bid's been awarded. And lead time is long for buses, so realistically we expect to have that bus up and operational probably at the end of this school year, maybe even into the summer, depending on how the upfit goes. We'll keep you posted on that.
Just the one bus this year?
Just one bus, yep. I just want to flag this one for you. So as we change over to technology, similar to the minivan project, this was another one that we were sort of unsure about the impact of tariffs and changes in the sector. So this was another one that we sort of put out procurement really early That material for the middle high school teacher laptops already rolled out, arrived late spring for us, again, sort of utilizing that flexibility you have with the free cash appropriation.
Nice.
Touchscreens are phase 2 of 3 right now. Also a pretty good rollout for us. Kudos again to Brian and that entire team in technology. They did a brilliant job there. The touchscreens are nice, again, just as a reminder that they save us a ton of money on the maintenance side of things. The short throw projectors are a little bit on the expensive side for maintenance. And so most school districts, in our area at least, have been moving toward these touchscreens as still a way to maintain, high engagement technology in the classroom, but reduce your maintenance burden. We'll continue to go with this project if approved by the school committee and ultimately by the voters, with our final phase in 27 to complete the project.
Great.
We talked a little bit about the PA system as part of our technology plan for FY26. We have the brains of that project essentially done, but we're still finishing up some of the hardware issues that have been plaguing that system. Those aren't done yet. We're hoping those will be done in early October. It means we still have a couple of areas in the building that aren't functioning the way we want them to function. So hard pressed with our vendor on that, and our technology team have been working closely with them to get that resolved. So where do we stand? What are our next steps ultimately? We continue to push to close out your projects. We're early in the year. We're still in September. And so typically your capital projects will continue on through the year. It's also pretty typical to have one or two sort of extend to a following fiscal year as well. It's just the nature of doing some of these projects. We've already started looking at the FY27. That should say 36. I'm sorry about the typo. But we do 10 years out for our capital planning. We've already started that development. We actually start that over the summer. And we'll expect to be able to present those priorities to you all in an upcoming school committee meeting so that they are ready to go, aligned with your expectations and your vision as well, so they can then go on to the town. I'll answer any questions that you might have, but that's where we stand with capital right now.
Excellent. I have to say, I very much enjoyed
good.
reading that presentation.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Prior to being here, it's great to see. I do have one question. I think we might have discussed this before, but I just can't remember the answer. In terms of the new buses and our minivans, my apologies. Do they have cameras on them like the buses do, or do they not?
They have stop arm cameras, but not cameras in the cab, right?
Okay.
So one of the things that not just Carver, but a lot of school districts have recently found over the past several years is maybe for whatever societal reason, there's been an increase in the number of cars that have been going around buses with the flashers on. And we really ask our community and all communities, I know people are super busy.
Yeah.
You got to get where you got to go. Please just take a moment. If you're behind the bus, I'm sorry, turn up your radio, give it a few seconds. But it keeps our kiddos safe. And so we've installed stop arm cameras to all of our vehicles, our buses, right? And what that does, it allows us to take real-time recording of any vehicle that does go by the bus. And then we share that with our colleagues in Carver PD, who will follow up accordingly.
Okay. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. I appreciate that. And one other thing I just want to highlight, assuming, Mrs. Russell, did you design the graphic in the cafeteria?
I did.
I can't wait to see it in person. It looks amazing in pictures. So thank you very much for that. Right? Exactly. I wish I could have been there when everyone walked in for the first time and saw it. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it brought a lot of joy. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Well said. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I didn't win the lottery, or I would have been adding to that list the plans I had. I'm like, wouldn't it be nice to have a track on the upper back soccer field? I like $1.7 billion, right? Yeah. Kelsey's like, yeah. I'm like, if I had won that lottery, oh man, there were going to be lots of meetings. But anyway, good luck to the people that did win. Pardon me for getting off topic. Okay, so that brings us to upcoming events.
Yep, as usual, I'll just show some of our upcoming events. We'll name them all. But as Christine said, we have open house coming up at the middle high school this Thursday. So we encourage families to attend. There is an early release day next Wednesday, the 17th, for all schools. The elementary will be doing mock bowling presentations for students on the 25th. And we're already moving into our senior events of senior dinner dance on the 25th and the senior class trip to the duck boats on the 26th.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
As we get into October, we have the Booster-thon kickoff. So Booster-thon will be happening in the month of October, and the Fun Run, which is scheduled for October 10th. Homecoming football game is scheduled for October 17th.
That's crazy. It's going by so fast.
And also our other reminder is just a calendar reminder, is that early release day on the 23rd. This is a change we made a couple of years ago, and I know it just still throws people off.
Yep.
So on both the parent conference days at the middle high school and at the elementary school, those are both half days for everybody. So the one building will do PD, the other building will have parent conferences, then they switch. But it's a half day for all students. That was a change we made a couple of years ago, and we used to do our half days a little bit differently, and it used to be like, if the elementary school had parent-teacher conferences, the middle high school didn't have a half day,
Yep.
and vice versa. But now it's a half day for everybody. But that still occasionally trips some people up.
Yeah.
So the 23rd is a half day district-wide, and parent-teacher conferences at the middle high school. And it's crazy, it's now October 31st, which this is really unusual, that the first term of the middle high school ends in October. But it's because we started so early this year. We started as early as we could start. Usually ends the first week in November, which that probably is the first week in November. But very rarely does it have an October date as the last day of the term. So that will come quick. So as always, all of our events, everything that happens in the district is listed on the school district's website. We encourage you to go to the calendar at www.carver.org. And we encourage you to come out and participate in all the fun events that are happening. Look at the athletic calendar. There's games every day. There are great things going on in and around the district at all times, and we invite the community to join and participate in those great things.
Can I just add one thing to the calendar?
Sure, absolutely.
The 19th of September is youth night for the football game and the cheerleaders.
Okay.
So the youth teams will be there participating.
Is that one that's being put on by middle high schools, by the high school athletes? When is that?
I believe so. Kelsey organized it, so
Okay.
yeah, it's youth night on the 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume all the youth will get to come in for
The youth-
free as well.
Yes, they get to come in for free, so just a warning in advance.
Yes.
If they're in uniform.
If they're in uniform.
If they're in uniform, yes.
The one I'm thinking of is September 12th.
No, no.
Carver Youth Soccer Night.
That's soccer night.
Oh,
So maybe it's youth night, or just football and cheer
yeah.
then. Yeah.
This one's the 12th.
is that Friday?
Is it a Friday?
It is.
It
It is a
That's
Friday.
this week.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's this
right?
week.
Because Thursday's the open house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's this week.
Yes.
If
so
it's
it's
September
this-
12th, it's Friday. It's
Yep,
this Friday.
this Friday, 5 to 7. But they have maybe it was rescheduled because they have the team event.
Aren't they going to, they're going to
Yeah, it says it's hosted by the girls and boys soccer team
Mass Maritime.
for youth soccer. Oh,
I'll have to check that.
Have to
I'll have to
figure
check
it
that day. Maybe that's not, that day is
Yeah.
not correct.
I'm like, right? Yeah. Well, maybe the girls will be there. I don't know. Anyway,
We'll
thank
see.
you very much for sharing all those
Thank you.
incredible upcoming events. Very exciting. Please join. Okay, and that brings us to the financial update, which I also very much appreciate. I went through all of the links earlier today when I was.
Yeah, this has got a few of them, doesn't it? It's end of the year
It's
and
great, though.
supplementals coming in with the state.
Yep.
So it's a pretty light one, though. There's not a lot going on really here locally, but the state's been busy closing out FY 25 and starting their FY 26 supplements. Quick highlight for you. Again, Healy, as I'm sure you read, filed the better part of $2.5 billion to close out FY 25. It goes into some detail with HD 5039. A couple of things that I think are relevant for the school committee. Continuing to make sure they have sufficient funding for universal free lunches in the state, which I think is wonderful. You see another $12 million to fund that. $150 million transferred for what is going to be the better part of $1.7 billion for the, let's just say, fair share surtax to the Student Opportunity Act. This next one I think we talked about briefly at our last meeting. I just want to underscore it. So it looks like what the state's been doing over the past, 8 to 12 months has essentially been building up a sufficient reserve to deflect any uncertainty that comes to the Commonwealth's way. So you see the establishment of this new Economic Resilience and Federal Response Fund, and then some additional money to the Rainy Day Fund, bringing that balance up to the better part of $8 billion. I'm not an expert in the state Rainy Day Fund, but in my over 20 years in education, I don't think I've ever seen it quite so high here in Massachusetts. So I think your theme is just, trying to find a way to insulate the Commonwealth from a lot of the financial uncertainty that we're seeing around the country. Additionally, July 1 came, Healy filed her 26 supplemental. A couple of things that I think are helpful to, look down the pike with. Part of that expanded the 9C cut authority, which I'm relatively new to see something like that. I haven't seen something like that in a long time, certainly. So I think that's, again, harbinger for the state trying to make sure it is ready and nimble if needed to make difficult decisions and hard cuts at the state level. And they talk a little bit about what that threshold should be in terms of allowing the governor to have that authority without legislative approval. You can dive in deeper, but I thought that was an interesting, again, just harbinger to what the landscape could look like going forward. And then here we are with revenue reports already. I know we're so early in the fiscal year, quarter one done for us already. You see a slight uptick there compared to the previous fiscal year. It's good to know, though, they haven't set their benchmarks yet. So we'll get a better sense, in the next couple of months as we start the budget process as to where the state receipts really land and how they stand up for, for year-to-year comparisons. Otherwise, no major changes on our end of things, no grants. I would just request the committee review and approve the warrants for the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move to approve the FY26 first quarter warrants as presented.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good, thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And that brings us to disposition of materials.
Related to Ron's earlier capital presentation, the social studies classrooms, we're in the process over the next month or so of getting all the new furniture in there. So the following classroom furniture has been determined to no longer be needed or in use by the district. It's all part of the classroom modernization project. As I said, we're doing this social studies classrooms at the middle high school this year. If these items are voted as surplus by the school committee, the district will first attempt to sell the items. If unsellable, the district would attempt to donate them to other schools or nonprofits in the area. And if no one will take them, if we can't give them away, then we will dispose of them. The list of items total, it's actually 124 combo desks/chairs, 20 tables, and 80 chairs. So we would support the committee vote to vote those items as surplus.
Okay. Excellent. I move that the classroom desks, tables, and chairs in the social studies classrooms be deemed as surplus.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
School committee calendar, I'll take this one. I know Stephanie's let me know that she has a couple conflicts coming up with our proposed calendar, specifically February 2nd and March 2nd. So we wanted to see how the committee wanted to manage that, whether we wanted to pick new meeting dates. I look at the calendar from my perspective. I don't see any issue with moving the February 2nd meeting to February 9th if that works for people.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
The second one's a little more challenging just because it lays close to the time of when we're supposed to vote our final budget number for town meeting. So town meeting is early this year as well. It's scheduled for April 7th. So if we were going to vote,
Wow.
if we were going to vote the budget, the town will be looking for us to vote the budget by March 7th. So if we move the March 2nd meeting, and from my perspective, we obviously don't know what the budget situation is going to be in, but I would think it always makes sense to have the full committee present to vote the budget. So I would suggest we move that meeting. I don't have a proposed date, except that it should probably be sometime prior to March 7th. So I guess if we all want to kind of look at our calendars and see if there's, well, a date that works around that March 2nd time frame.
Crazy to think that we're talking about March of 2026 already. It's crazy. I don't have anything.
Like the 3rd or the
The rest
4th,
of
do you
that
want
week.
to stay that week? Want to move it to a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
I'm not sure about anybody.
You could
else.
do Tuesday the 4th.
Tuesday the 3rd?
Sorry, the
Yeah.
3rd, yeah.
Is that, anybody see a
okay?
conflict on just moving that meeting to Tuesday the 3rd?
Yeah, I could do that.
Great.
Yep.
All right, and since we do vote the calendar, I guess I'd entertain a motion to move the February 2nd meeting to February 9th and the March 2nd meeting to March 3rd.
Okay, I move that we move the February 2nd school committee meeting to February 9th and the March 2nd school committee meeting to March 3rd.
A second?
Excellent. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I will just say thank you. I apologize for the inconvenience. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then we'll update the calendar, which we post the school committee calendar dates on the website.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. I will be in DC in February. We'll see how that goes, but that's where I will be. Okay, so really quickly, next on reports from the school committee is I had spoken briefly about this last time, is the MASC-MASS annual conference. I was hoping that maybe a group of us could get together for dinner when Pedro Martinez, who's the new DESE commissioner, is the keynote on Wednesday, November 12th at 7 p.m. There's also an exhibitors reception, which I'm sure, Jackie, you've probably been to. It's where they have a lot of vendors that come and have different things that you can look at for your district. They always have fun giveaways. Also, I've met some interesting people through that. So that's also something I just wanted to mention. I just need to let them know how many of us are going to go, so I can make sure that they reserve tickets for us, because this will likely sell out.
I would go to that dinner.
I am going
for
to the
sure.
dinner, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to.
Okay. Bill, what's your November 12th look like?
Yeah, I'm typing it in now. I am available.
Okay.
And I will attend on the 12th as well.
Okay. And then, I mean, if anyone else wants to go, just need to let me know so I can, like I said, have them reserve tickets. I know it's a bit of a drive down to Hyannis on a Wednesday night, but it's usually a great take.
Carpool?
I'm sorry?
I said, Kelly, want to carpool? Because you'll already be there, right?
I will already be there.
Yes, we can carpool.
Yes, I will already be there. Okay, great. And then moving on to the next and final item, yes. It is the MASC 2025 official delegate form. This is something that we have done annually. We have one delegate from our district that can vote at the delegate assembly. In Hyannis, we need to have the form submitted by October 20th, so I was just hoping that we could vote it today, submit it, and then I'm hoping for October, I will have the resolutions. They haven't been published yet. So,
We can nominate you even though you're like office holder, right?
yes. You can. Yes, it's actually at that meeting that they'll vote the slate for 2026. So anyone's also welcome to attend. There's a large gallery. I think it's on Friday afternoon. I want to say 2:30, 3 o'clock. So yes, so we just need to vote a delegate and an alternate. That way we are covered, and I can just go online and submit the JOT form. I'm just trying to look and see what time it is in case anyone's interested.
I'm going to go to the
Ship
delegate
lunch.
assembly this time, which I haven't in the past, but I wanted to try it.
Okay. Yeah, the registration is from 2 to 3 on Friday, and then the delegate assembly starts at 3:15. And then there's a dinner and a reception after that, so if anyone plans on going to delegate assembly, just let me know, and I can also get tickets for dinner.
I could take
Friday
a
night.
personal day for that.
So,
That doesn't fit with my schedule, so I'll remove myself from consideration.
okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a personal day that Friday so I can attend things.
Okay,
So I will go to the dinner
okay.
and then
For a second, I was like, wait a minute, is it Friday the 13th? It's not. It's Friday the 14th.
14th. And the dinner is the Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I'll save my second one for Day on the Hill.
Excellent.
There you go.
Yeah, the conference starts at like 10 a.m. on Wednesday. So I'm basically taking 3 days off to go. But it's good. It's worth it. Plus, I'm running the election for Division 7. So
What day is that on?
the election for Division 7, bear with me a second,
It's okay.
is, what date is that? I really dislike the way this is organized. Come on, show me the date. I think it's on a Wednesday. Or is it on Thursday? It might, yeah, okay, sorry. It's on Thursday at 4 p.m. I do not know where. We are looking for a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary treasurer for Division 7 of MASC. So there is a process where you can apply. MASC sent out emails earlier this week with more information about what each role entails and how to apply if you are interested.
So does that, just because it's out of my own curiosity, do they, the people that are in it now, it doesn't automatically go to the next year?
Nope.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, the elections are every other year. So
Yeah.
this year it's odd, next year it's even. So they're typically 2-year terms. Sometimes someone will come off for 1 year, like I did when I became secretary treasurer. I couldn't be chair, so someone stepped into that role for 1 year. So now we're looking, this year is 2 years for chair, vice chair, and secretary treasurer. So I can't recommend it enough. It's been a great learning experience for me. So that's that. So we just need to vote a delegate, and then this will be finished.
I mean,
I nominate Katie Sullivan to be our official delegate
I feel,
at the delegate assembly,
yeah,
if you'll serve.
I would serve if you nominated me.
Okay.
And I would second that.
Katie Sullivan. Okay. Do we want to make a separate motion for the alternate, or do we want to do both at the same time?
We can do both at the same time.
Okay. So we just need a motion for someone to be an alternate.
Right? Stephanie, you want to be an alternate?
It can be me. It can be Jackie will be there. Anyone who's going to be there. So.
I don't know if you guys don't care.
I nominate Jackie
It's
Lane.
whatever.
All right, there you go.
I second.
All right, there we go. We have a
There we
motion
go.
and a second.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second for our delegate and for our alternate. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you both.
Wow.
Your names are being submitted momentarily. Greatly appreciate it. It's always a very interesting experience,
Definitely.
I will say. You might want to bring some popcorn.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back to school, everyone. Appreciate everyone that spent their time with us tonight. Congratulations to all of our AP scholars. Welcome to all of our new teachers and staff and bus drivers, food services. I'm not sure if we have any new custodians, but welcome to Carver Public Schools. We hope you have a wonderful time while you're here. We appreciate you. And please, like was mentioned earlier by Ron, please do not pass a school bus. Please, 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 please. Like he said, I usually will just turn my radio, whatever I'm listening to up, and I will dance in my car and make a fool out of myself. So if you see me dancing in my car behind a school bus, it's just what I do. It's important for everyone's safety. So please just be respectful and mindful of the buses. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add? Okay, so would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn the September 8th school committee meeting, open session.
I second.
Excellent. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We are officially adjourned. It's 7:14 PM on September 8th, 2025. Thank you, everyone.